fight now. I don't know why I did that. That was kind of cancer. But you guys know what it is. Clicked on the video for a reason. Cejudo versus Song, prediction and breakdown. Let's get to it. Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Sequeira. I'm going with Modestas Bukauskas, mainly because Rafael Sequeira, um, he showed absolutely nothing in his fight against Ibo Aslan. Absolutely nothing. Just let himself get beat up against the fence, got absolutely teed off on. I mean, he looks athletic and he looks big, but not enough in this day and age at light heavyweight. You have to actually be kind of good at light heavyweight. At heavyweight, this would be a different story. This guy might be a future champ, future top contender. But at light heavyweight, no. Modestas Bukauskas, he's been doing good in the UFC. He's really come into his own into his second time around. I mean, he beat Tyson Pedro. I know he's coming off a submission win over Marcin Prachnio, really good win. Hurt him got kicked in the head in the second round, ate it like a champ, and then still came back. He has that one loss to Vitor Petrino. Hasn't aged too well. No, it just hasn't aged well at all. It's actually aged really fucking poorly. However, oh my god, dude, I have like a cut inside my cheek. Oh, holy fuck. I have like 2 cuts on the inside of my cheek. It hurts so bad to talk right now. Holy shit. This is not gonna be a fun video to do. I might actually just have to like mumble mouth through everything, Leon Edward style. Yeah, bro. Gonna mumble mouth my way through this. I'm picking Modestas Bukauskas, bro. No, but I'm picking Modestas Bukauskas. Just shown more, looked better. Looked good in his last fight. Younger. Better experience against better opponents. I'm picking Modestas Bukauskas. No reason to pick Rafael Sequeira. Who knows? Sequeira might be actually just really good, and Ibo Aslan might just be that big of a menace, but I'm picking Modestas Bukauskas. Next up, Mansour Abdul Malik versus Nick Klein. I'm going with Mansour Abdul Malik. A big, fucking giant, strong, powerful middleweight. And, he beat, before the UFC, he hadn't beat anyone too notable. And then he beat Wes Schultz. Not someone terrible. Not terrible. Not as bad as people would like to say, but, not a great opponent, but still definitely better than who he'd been fighting. Then he beat Dusko Todorovic, and that's actually a really solid win. Todorovic is actually a really solid fighter, despite what anyone might say. So, Nick Klein, grappler, good, decent striking, but it's just hard for me to pick against Mansour Abdul Malik, especially when you're someone who's taking the fight on short notice. But then again, it's not like Malik was preparing for anyone like skilled. He was preparing for Trockley, which another question that poses. Trockley was meant to return on this card. Tresean Gore hasn't gotten a fight booked yet. Where's Tresean Gore at? That would be a good fight. But yeah, I'm picking Mansour Abdul Malik, probably by KO. Don't know what round. Probably round 1. Let's be real. But I'm picking Mansour Abdul Malik. Next up, Ricky Simone versus Javid Basharat. I'm picking Ricky Simone. This Basharat in particular, basically, the Basharats can't do damage. They can't control very well. I mean, Javid can. Javid is actually pretty solid enough to control, but Fareed can. Javid can't. Javid is just no one he's not anyone special. You got fucking. You got not even like matter. He got just like he did well. He did his thing in the first against Ayman Zahabi and he gassed out. That's what happened. He looked tired and he looked gassed, and he just let the fight escape him as a minus like 1,000 favorite too. Embarrassing. I'm picking Ricky Simone. I think Ricky Simone has, I think he's more powerful. I think he's more athletic. I don't think Javid Bashrat's going to be able to take him down. Sure, he lost to Saeed Nurmagomedov, but he had some, or sure, he lost to, who did he lose to? Vinicius Oliveira. He had some moments. He was able to get Vinicius Oliveira down. And we saw, I mean, Vinicius Oliveira just went on to batter and beat and break Saeed Nurmagomedov. Wow, dude, this is really fucking hurting the inside of my cheek. I might fucking end it all. But Javid Bashara, I don't know why he's such a big favorite. I'm going with Ricky Simone. Plus, Ricky Simone's been more active. He's fought more recently. I mean, Javid Bashara, his fight was what, March last year. Ricky Simone was like June last year. So at least he's been more active. Just I'm gonna trust in Ricky Simone to end the losing streak. I trust in Ricky Simone to end the losing streak and completely expose the Javid Basharat, not the Basharat brothers, because Fareed is actually seems pretty decently solid. Next up, oh, I forgot he was on this card. Next up, Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Eric Mokaniko. I'm going with Ruziboyev. It's at middleweight. Ruziboyev looks good looks really good at middleweight. Knocked out Bruno Ferreira in a minute. Was pretty much smoked Cedric Dumas. Eric Mokaniko taking this on. They're both taking this on a week's notice. I just seen more from Nursultan Ruziboyev for me to pick him. Eric Mokaniko's debut. I mean, he cornered some other fighter, I know, because Big Marcel used a photo of him as a cornerman when making this fight announcement. I'm just going to go with Nursultan Ruziboyev. I trust what he has to offer. Sure, he got beat by Joaquin Buckley, but that's not a bad loss at all now. Top 10 middleweight, top 10 welterweight, close to breaking into the top 5. Would probably beat Usman. Yeah, it's great. So, what the fuck was that? I got a buzz. Phone buzzed. Fucking Henry Cejudo and his cringy ass corner team. God. I remember he said, I'm gonna have to. I love Henry. We got fucking Henry. Dude, I think he's gonna strike with me. Fucking, we have Henry. Uh, Sorry, coach, I'm gonna have to let you go because even though it's 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 me pointing out the obvious and still letting it happen, I gotta replace you. Lol. But Nursultan Ruziboyev should get this done. He's got power in his hands. Just yeah, there's no reason for me not to trust him. I'm going with Nursultan Ruziboyev. This fight got canceled. Let me tell you, if it didn't get canceled, Billy Ray Goff would have put a fucking bad beating on Adam Fugit. Fuck it. He would have put a bad beating on Adam Fugit. Would have whooped his ass. Billy Ray Goff's a fucking Chad, and he would have whooped his ass. What fights have all gotten canceled? None of these fights. Okay. Next up, Ibo Aslan versus Ion Cutelaba. Odds are a lot closer than I would have expected them to be. I would have expected Aslan to be like a minus 300 favorite, but then again, there is an idea of Ion Cutelaba, and then there is Ion Cutelaba who shows up. Do we get the ID? Do we get the true form of Ion Cutelaba? Or do we get the one that's gonna show up, stand there, and then get battered by Ibo Aslan and do a fucking TKO? I can't bank on Cutelaba being just showing up as his best self every time because you don't know if he will. You never know if the Cutelaba you're gonna get is the good one. Ibo Aslan so far in his career has done the exact same thing to every single opponent he's fought. Knocked them out. And the only person to beat him, Anton Turkalj, he came back and knocked Anton Turkalj out. Granted, Turkalj is on a 3-fight losing streak, but still, I'm just gonna go with Ibo Aslan. I trust his power. I trust his pressure. I don't trust Ion Cutelaba, and I especially don't trust his chin. He used to have a pretty granite chin. Not anymore. Next up, Andre Fili versus Melquizael Costa. Andre Fili coming off a controversial victory over Cub Swanson. I thought he took it. I thought he did good enough to take the fight, but a lot of people did not. Melquizael Costa coming off a submission over Shalian Nerdenbeck. His only losses in the UFC are Steve Garcia and Thiago Moises. So not a bad fighter. Not bad losses at all. We know what Steve Garcia is capable of now. And we know what and Thiago Moises is just a really good grappler. Not the kind of guy you'd want to take on short notice, but who do I go with? I'll go with Melquizael Costa. I think he'll be able to do well with his kicks. He has really solid kicks. He has solid kicks at range. I think he'll be able to use the kicks effectively. Uh and honestly, I think the way he looked against Shayleen Erdenbeck, who is like a short, stocky, powerful wrestler, I think he can prevent, any big takedowns for Andre Fili. I think he can nullify the grappling decently well. And I think he'd be able to beat him on the feet, chopping away with low kicks and body kicks. Andre Fili doesn't have a lot to offer on the feet. Honestly, I could see Melquizael Costa knocking him out. I could see a knockout from Melquizael Costa. But yeah, going with Melk Coffee. Plus, he's a lot younger, a lot less wear and tear. Andre Fili's, coming off a war, and before that war, he got knocked out cold by Ige. So just going with Melquizael Costa. Next up, Julie. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I keep getting that fucking. You guys keep getting that that fucking 18-year-old on Instagram Reels who looks 13. He's like, drink raw milk, eat raw meat, dude. Your hormone production is fucked. Hold on, let me look at his nickname is the Juice Box. His nickname is Juice Box. This guy is 6'4". Oh fuck, wait. Oh fuck, dude. I don't know. Wait, this guy might not be terrible. I'm gonna go with Alonzo Menefield just because I can trust him. He's 37, yeah, and Julius Walker's 25. Fuck. But his last two losses are literally only fucking Carlos Olberg and Azamat Mirzakhanov, and those aren't bad losses. I'm gonna go with Alonzo Menifield. He has power. I think he'll be able to land a shot that'll knock Julius Walker out. Walker, they're both taking on short notice, but Walker does look like a big guy who has a much harder cut. So I'm gonna trust in Alonzo Menifield to get it done. But this Julius Walker guy, he's big and athletic. I could see him just fucking. I could just somehow see it. This is a fight where I've been pretty confident in my prediction the entire time. I'm going with Rob Font. Granted, if Rob Font shoots a takedown, I could definitely see him getting guillotined and fucking up my pick. But I don't think he's stupid enough to shoot a takedown because he's got Faraz Sahabi in his corner. Then again, Faraz Sahabi also told Arnold Allen that he was up 2 rounds to 0 on Giga Chikadze going into the third round. He wasn't. It was 1-1. Could have lost him the fight based off of that if Arnold Allen decided to coast. Thank God he didn't because Arnold Allen's a Chad. But I'm going with Rob Font. Matsumoto's taking on short notice. Rob Font's had an actual full camp, and he's getting a catch weight, so Rob Font's weight cut won't be as bad. His chin will be a little better. And he's coming off a win over Kyler Phillips. John Matsumoto, his offensive wrestling isn't the best. He went to a scrappy war with Brad Katona. Fucking T-Rex arms, Brad Katona was getting beat up, taking big shots. A lot of people arguably thought he lost. I thought he pretty clearly won it. I thought he pretty clearly took it. I thought he had the moments of hurting Brad Katona in the fight, in the rounds that he won to win the fight. But Rob Font is not the guy you want. I mean, he's kind of getting a complete opponent switch up. He's been preparing to check leg kicks against Chris Gutierrez, and try and work against a fighter like that who's gonna dance around. To now he's getting a volume-based boxer with a crispy jab, with a big reach advantage and a big experience advantage. And that's where I'm kind of worried. That's where I think Rob Font's gonna, really get it done. I think Matsumoto, he doesn't move his head a lot. Very stationary. I mean, he's coming from like a Muay Thai base, so he throws a lot of the leg kicks and the body kicks, but he doesn't move his head a lot. Doesn't have some like slick footwork to dance around the outside and play like a Yusuf Zalal type game against Calvin Kattar. I think Rob Font's gonna land. I think Rob Font's gonna find his jab early, and I think he's gonna. I think eventually for the first and second rounds, he's just gonna batter John Matsumoto with his jab. And honestly, I see a third round TKO from Rob Font. I think Matsumoto's gonna be take it. I think it's gonna be accumulation of damage. I think Rob Font's gonna land a big shot. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna play the game of Kyler Phillips where he's gonna float up, like dance along the outside and circle around for the last 2 rounds. Because I don't think he'll be able to. But John Matsumoto, it's not the kind of fight that you want to take on short notice. I'm expecting a Rob Font TKO victory. Third round TKO. Uh, I'd say late second, early in the third or midway through the third TKO. But even then, if Matsumoto survives, I expect a 30-27 decision. Bare minimum. 30-26. 30-26. Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. I'm going with Gene Silva. We all know why. Gene Silva, he's got the flashy head movement. He has a chin. We've seen him test himself against higher level of opponent. Melsik Bagdasaryan got choked out by Josh Culibao. Just hasn't necessarily looked impressive, and he hasn't fought in like a year and a half. And this is Gene Silva's not the opponent you want to come back to after like a year and a half off. So, just going with Gene Silva. Doesn't need much explanation. Yeah. Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. I'm taking Anthony Hernandez. We all know why. Anthony Hernandez is going to beat him with the pay. Brendan Allen doesn't have the pop or the power of a Michel Pereira or Roman Kopylov. And I don't think he's going to have the ability to keep up with the pace of an Anthony Hernandez. I expect Anthony Hernandez to maybe 30-27, 29-28, maybe. I could see Brendan Allen maybe taking the first round where he has the cardio to keep up, but then he's going to tire, and then Anthony Hernandez is going to wear on him, and Anthony Hernandez is going to at least win the second and the third rounds, probably take the first on one judge's scorecard. 29-28, 29-28, 30-27, Anthony Hernandez. Don't see much from Brendan Allen that would make me worry for Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez is a dog. Striking is pretty underrated. Uh, grappling's not underrated, can we all know why, but, just taking Anthony Hernandez in this fight. Anthony Hernandez by decision. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. I think this is going to be a fucking really sad ending to Henry Cejudo's career. I mean, he fucking retired at the wrong time, came back at an even worse time. Hasn't fought in over a year. Song Yadong went to at a really competitive fight with Piotr Yan. I think Song Yadong is gonna knock him the fuck out. I mean, Marab was getting respect with some of his shots. Aljo was able to land body kicks and leg kicks on him. I think we're gonna see, Henry take the first probably, maybe. Obviously he's gonna early on he's gonna get a takedown, but he's probably gonna get that inside a leg trip, but I don't see him beating Song over the distance. Song has real pop in his shots. He's bigger, younger, stronger, probably stronger, definitely a lot faster. He's definitely got better eyes in the pocket and better and better hands in the pocket. I really see Henry Cejudo getting caught with an uppercut and getting put out probably in like the third round, probably in like the fourth round. I could see him getting dropped in the third beforehand, and then just the fourth round, Song just lands a combo, ends it with an uppercut, drops him bad, and then just some ground and pound. Song finishes him off. I mean, really, if you see this card, it was made to do one of two things. When it was originally made, it was made for one of two things. They either hoped that Song Yadong and Rob Font would beat Cruz and Cejudo because they hoped the names Cruz and Cejudo would bring attention to the card, and then when Song and Font won, they could book Song and Font together to fight. Or they hope. Actually, no. What my other thought process was they hope Cejudo and Cruz wins, and then they do that rematch. But no, this was supposed to be Cruz's retirement fight. So really, the only outcome the UFC wanted with this was Song Yadong and Rob Font win, so they could book Rob Font against Song Yadong in like the main event of a fight night. Maybe like an Apex fight night, probably, but there's no other outcome for them where this really matters. They know Cejudo's not gonna make a run for the title. The new Cruz was gonna retire. They have one. They had one plan with this, and that's where I think this plan is gonna go. I think Song Yadong and Rob Font is gonna win, and then after that, they're gonna book Font against Song Yadong. I mean, you know how much the UFC loves their boxers, and you know the UFC, they're gonna they would try and push Song. I mean, a fun, high-paced boxer with power who goes for the knockout and has knockout power and nasty knockouts, nasty highlights. Yeah, they're gonna try and push him. But I see Song knocking him out. I think after the first round, he's gonna be able to stuff the takedowns. I don't see much for Cejudo to offer him. But that's about it. I think it's gonna be a sad end to Cejudo's career. But tell me what you guys think, and that's about it. See you.